Hi everyone and welcome. Today is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday the 2nd of February 2019, and today in our room we have Christine, Deb, DJ, Don, Ava, Ian, Jim, Jonathan, Marlena, Reinhardt, Sheer, Stephanie, and myself. And who do we have in your room, Jim?
We have Angie, Barb, Sean, Jack, and Ray.
Ah, welcome. Welcome from the cold north.
Yes.
Yes. Are you getting the weather that they are having in Chicago or not?
What?
Are you having the weather, same weather as they're having in Chicago or no? With that
It's similar, but they had it worse. Their weather was very much colder.
Yeah, well, let's send out good thoughts to them for all the people recovering from that. And I've got an echo somewhere. So Stephanie, I'm going to mute you. Okay, there we go. All right, so before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping things. Starting in the summer, in the dates of August 8th through 11th, or 7th to 11th, we have, 8th to 11th, we have the Ascension Workshop. Do you want to tell everyone about that?
It's 8th through 11th. If you want to come a day early, they will give you a special rate that would be $100 for the room for that day, so that you could be there a day early. And we're also not leaving till Monday morning, so that means that the goodbye ceremony will be Monday morning. We're going to it has a swimming pool table. It's really a nice place, and it's called Finger Lakes Hotel. What else am I missing here?
It's $575 and it's $115 for the day before. That's what's on the website.
Oh, he made it $115?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and if my microphone fell over. So all the information is on the website on hucolo.org. You can sign up there, and it'll give you everything at this moment except for the schedule. The schedule is being worked on by Angela and by Jim, but that's pending. But just know it's going to be a great couple of days with a lot of fun and classes and trainings and all kinds of things like that.
And community.
And it'll be wonderful community. You'll have a wonderful time there. I'm really excited about it being there because it'll be a lot more comfortable. Nobody will be cold or hot or whatever. It'll just be a wonderful time of communion. And we have the banquet room that we're going to be using for our for talking and everything is as big as the room we had before, so it'll be wonderful.
Perfect. So hopefully, if you're interested, if you feel called, go ahead, check it out on hucolo.org. It's right under the, I guess this is the 4th Ascension Workshop or the 5th? Fourth Ascension Workshop. So, all right, check that out. And then also, too, on Amazon.com, you can download, you can buy a hard copy or a Kindle copy of the book From the Galaxy with Love, a Lightworker's Handbook. It's a book written by Jim Charles and Max Rempel, and it's getting rave reviews, flying off the shelves. And it's just a wonderful look at spirituality from the standpoint of our ET friends and just how to walk your path and approach your life as a light worker. Did I sum it up well?
I think so, yes.
Okay. And if you do get the book, please leave a favorable review because that's just helping the sales and all the money is going back into help Hucolo. So please definitely take a look at the book. And Ian, why don't you talk about your class that you do on Fridays?
Sure, thanks. My name is Ian, and I'm the host of the Hucolo Channeling Practice Group. And every Friday afternoon at 4:30 Eastern, we get together, would-be channelers, and we practice our channeling and share tips with each other and talk about channeling topics. That happens every Friday at 4:30 on Zoom. And there's a Facebook page that you can join. And the name of the Facebook page is Hucolo Channeling Practice Group. It's free to join. It's a safe place to where there's no judgment, and you're free to channel on whether that's just light language or channeling or anything. We'll welcome you. So we always look forward to having new members. So give us a join and participate in our Friday group. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks so much, Ian. Thanks for running that. You're doing I was going to say spectacular, and then I started to say wonderful. So it was spectacular job. You're doing wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful job. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with some blessings. In our room, we have 2 people, so we'll start in our room, and then we'll go to Barbara after. So we have Deb and DJ. Go ahead, Deb. Why don't you start?
Thank you. Aika o na isa o a kai ua nei a usaika o na ayaka o a isa naya o a sula nai ka uta usaita a ola o kai ia o sanaya ka a maya ka uta isaya usaya ka o na ya o a na ika ia a ta a o a ia o saina ya ta o a. Namaste.
We have been measuring your growth, and lately there has been a great deal of it. And we are very happy to report that we feel that first contact may be sooner than we once realized. There are many scientists turning their attentions toward what is more important and what is more true.
Perfect. Thank you. DJ, go ahead.
Hello, my name's Sal. Sorry, the wrong count logged in.
Welcome.
Thank you. Me sarandu haran ani haradai iwahana shikaradu hurumi nimbra harawa direhana dirahanum bruks drihira dohoa andishi birandoha adihia anna ahanue dugohoa henama hoarat ahani digaha oharat aha duena henua.
Love is an intricate part of the universe and is everywhere to be found. Please gather yourselves around it, for it is the most powerful of energies that can be used in the ascension process. Find your love and share it with all those around you.
Thank you. And Barbara, why don't you go ahead? Barbara, go ahead.
Yata tikisiata koshoat nahtiata kovata. Yata patakiata takanetiata tukuata. Tiapata kuchuata. Tiata turuapata hiana takatiata kuwa. Tiapata kuchiata tapata hiata kuwata tia.
You are entering exciting times, but also treacherous times. Be aware that these days will bring much change, but change for the good, change for a greater understanding, change for life, and change for love. We are here to help you to be guided with the thoughts that negativity cannot win, but positivity will always win out in the end.
Thank you. Oh, very nice. Just to start, we have some requests. We have the request from Barbara for the Largan race, from Dawn, the asteroid beings that passed by, from Sheer Odin, from Ava, she would like Grindal, and Deb requested John Lennon, and Marlena requested Ezra from the Old Testament concerning the Golden Torah.
I'd like to do Elijah.
And Elijah was requested.
And Elijah, okay.
And Elijah will be coming today. I don't know what he's going to say, but he is coming.
Okay.
First, second, third, fourth, I don't know.
All right, so I'm echoing maybe because, am I echoing that?
No.
Okay. Anyway, I just have to mute my mic in between. I hear myself echoing a little too, so probably my gain is up too high. It probably makes a difference. Anyway, we're ready when you are. You have your water. That was going to be my question. So when you're ready to go.
All right, thank you. I'm going to do a little meditation, and who is ever ready to come first, please do. You are welcome. Yes.
You're not muted, Karen.
Greetings. We are those that have been passing by on the asteroids.
Welcome.
We understand someone has summoned us. For what reason?
Don, why don't you ask the question?
Yes, this is Don. I was just wondering who was on the asteroid and what is your destination?
Asteroids are inhabited by many different species. There are bases on some of them. The ones that have the most inhabitable space, of course. Of course, not the smallest ones usually are left alone, and the largest ones are also left alone because they are not. They do not do the work that we want them to do. We would like a medium-sized asteroid so that the actual asteroid can be managed and moved about in a logical fashion. The larger ones are much too hard to move. But we are the species called, well, we have Yahyel here, and we have some Arcturian and Pleiadians. We are not a group that is common to anywhere else. We are friends that get together, and this is one of the places that we gather.
Are you inside the asteroid?
Inside the asteroid is the only place that we can really survive. And we can guide and direct the asteroid from internal technology. So yes, we are inside, and it is more or less an observatory.
Okay, thank you very much. I was just curious to see if there's anybody in there. Thank you.
There are several of the asteroids that have observatories or scientific stations. There are materials on the asteroids that are very useful and can be mined, especially on the larger ones. Although there are no internal bases, they do set up mining structures for taking elements and minerals from some of the larger asteroids. We do that ourselves. There is occasionally some radioactive material in the asteroids, and therefore it makes them very valuable to mine.
Thank you. I appreciate the response. Thank you.
Is this all that you were wanting from us?
No, Marlena has a question. Marlena has a question. Go ahead, Marlena.
Greetings. Do you have any relation to Tiamat?
What is the name?
Tiamat? Maldek?
Oh, we know of that, but that we do not have any relationship with them.
Okay. Can I ask you which constellation you are from, please?
Which constellation? We are from different constellations, since there's Pleiadian, Yahyel, and several other species with us. We are a group of friends that met in the galactic councils, and we travel together sometimes, and we use these asteroids from different places to travel. it is less obvious and much safer. We also use portals to travel from one place to another. And if people see an asteroid, they usually leave it alone. And if as soon as they pass, then we can use our functionality to move out of their sight, and we are well protected.
Have more asteroids been added?
Actually, yes.
In which part, please?
In which part of the asteroid belt, or in which part of the universe?
Both, please.
The asteroid belt, there are some of the larger asteroids that have recently broken up. Lots of mining have been done in some of the very larger asteroids, and after a while, they become fragile and start to break up. So asteroids have been added to the asteroid belt due to the fact that they have been mined and made more fragile. Other places where there are asteroids are in the Orion belt. There are asteroids there from destroyed planets as well. Their asteroids are much larger. The planet that was destroyed in that area was 3 times the size of the ones that was destroyed in your solar system. So the asteroids there are much, much larger and much more difficult to maneuver. So you don't have many of those flying around, but there are some smaller ones that have been inhabited. Now, there are also some asteroid belts in the Pleiades and other places. Is there a reason why you asked for this?
Well, just to add to my knowledge.
Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome. Knowledge is always a good thing to have. Perhaps you should visit the asteroid belt sometime and join us in some of our travels. I know it is against the law at this point, but at some point it will be open, and we will be happy to let others know where we are.
Cassiopeia comes to mind right now.
Cassiopeia is a good place, and it does have asteroid fields as well. All places that have planetoid structures or planets and planetoids, I should say. I'm not sure how to say it in your world, but any place that has these kinds of things will eventually have asteroid belts.
You mentioned that we're not allowed at this point to travel to the asteroid belts. My feeling is that it will remain as is for a while yet. Is that correct?
Well, yes, but we heard someone speak earlier. They have been keeping some news away from you in some ways. They do not like to discuss first contact, but it seems to be that the scientific community on your planets are starting to understand that ancient alien artifacts and places are actually valid. And this is causing an upheaval in the way they think about the future with aliens. They realize now, at least most of them do, that aliens have been on your planet many, many times for thousands and thousands of years. They are now discovering even older places than Mesopotamia for the beginnings of life on your planet. There are some places where life has been there for 30,000 years, and they are now finding some of these structures that have been buried, and they are far advanced than what they could have possibly imagined for this time in history. So your first contact may be closer than you think, because the scientific world will try to expose this, I am sure.
May we ask your name, please?
I am 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗓.
Thank you, 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗓.
I am from the Galactic Council, and I am Yahyel.
Thank you.
Thank you for adding this information and answering my questions. Thank you.
You are welcome. Curiosity is always a positive sign with any species or individual. It shows they are curious to grow. Growth is necessary.
Thank you very much.
Is there any other questions, or should I go?
I don't see any other questions at this moment, and unless someone has another question quickly. Okay. Well, we do appreciate, 𝗪𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗓, you coming. It's a pleasure to meet you, and please feel free to come again if there's need. If there's need, it's always nice to meet a new person, new being.
Well, thank you. We were just responding to a request. We happen to be listening. We listen to many of your channel sessions on the planet, and especially ones that draw groups such as this. We like to listen to the information that's being brought forth. Most of the time, it's very positive, and most of the time, it's fairly accurate. Not always. Even every single channel session has some flaws, but we understand because the source has a translator that does not interpret properly. So therefore, it can be misconstrued or interpreted incorrectly. So therefore, there are many times we see a flaw, but sometimes it is caught and corrected.
Well, we do our best down here on planet Earth, you know.
We see that you do.
Maybe you can send us the technology for a little bit better interpretation.
We see that you give your efforts to positivity, at least groups of this nature. Continue. I am going to go now.
All right. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
You as well. Thank you.
There is someone trying to enter.
All right.
I am Elijah.
Welcome.
Welcome, Elijah. Greetings.
Today I would like to just come and speak about free will for a moment. Many of you do not really think about free will too often. You live your lives and move through it with a great ease, or at least some of you do. And others of you feel that you have no free will because you are suppressed or doing things, or things are happening to you that makes you feel that there is nothing that you can do to have free will. Let me tell you what real free will is. Free will is the ability to think and know the things that you know and not change your beliefs because of others. Not to be influenced by anyone else, but to know what you know and to live out what you feel is correct. Now, many of you say, I have no free will because they have taken my freedom away. I do not have free will because I cannot do this, that, or the other thing. But remember, it's a very personal thing what free will is. Your governments have changed your free will because they tell you they have laws and that you must abide by them, and that is changing your free will. However, you still have the free will to move about in your world and do many of the things that you want to do. The thing is, make sure that you are not influenced by others' will, that your will is still being carried out. They cannot change how you think. They cannot change how you feel unless you let them. And that is an important part of who you are. They cannot change who you are unless you let them. Do not be influenced, but understand that God is with you and that He is creating the true self within you, and that He will break you free of the law if necessary. Do not lose faith. There are times coming when you will need to stand strong. There are times coming when you will need to stand up and have courage and be the one that speaks out for justice. But remember, there is free will, but it may seem like a mask on society. It may seem like you are pushed and pulled into places where you do not want to be. But still, internally, you may know the truth. Do not give that up, and do not be pushed and pulled into different thought processes if they are not your own. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Elijah. Thank you for being here.
Blessings to all.
Blessings.
You did not call me, but I must come. My name is Pazhatutek.
Welcome, Pazhatutek.
I am from Machu Picchu. They have found my burial area, and they are going to invade it. I warned them not to. It has been a recent discovery within the last several years, but now they are planning to open it up.
And why are you opposed to them opening it?
It is not for humans to see yet.
Is there any ramifications for
There
opening
will
it?
be, yes. For those of you that know who I am the one that built Machu Picchu. But before that, I destroyed my enemies quite easily with a small army because we have the power of my father. And we will be able to withstand the opening of my tomb because he is with me.
And your father is?
That is all right. He will speak for himself.
Okay. Well, we would ask you to perhaps not be too distressed by man's interest in our own history. And I don't know what else to say about it, but
there is technology there that must not be seen yet.
All right. Marlena, go ahead. You have a question?
Mucho gusto, Pazhatutek. Thank you so much for coming. My
You
question
know me?
is, yes, I do. Thank you.
I recognize the spirit, but you must identify yourself.
Your presence here today on this call, what would you like us to do as a group pertaining to your questionings?
I would like you to send energies that would stop them from opening my tomb, because they will ransack it, they will change it, and this must not happen at this time. There are reasons for it to stay intact. There are reasons why it was not discovered, and why it was bold, why they sealed it up. They must not enter it yet. So please send energies to stop them. I know those that discovered it were stopped originally, but now the governments of that country, of this country, is going to have it opened because they feel that they want the treasures. They understood that the ones that discovered it used scientific usages to discover that there was hallways and gold and different things within the passageways, and that there was probably other metals there that they were not sure of. So now the country stopped those from entering, but they now want to enter themselves. Send energy so they may be stopped.
Consider it done.
Thank you. You do not know how important this is. Your people are not ready for what is there.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that has a question?
What species are you?
I am from Earth, but my father is not.
Okay. Do you want to lead us in a meditation to send energy? Maybe that would be beneficial. Okay.
One moment, please, while I center the gravity and center the energy in the room. Katitravas. Notakrat. Gurrata as Norvti Nukriyat. Natutu. Ingo, qualquer quase a gente Kutipa. Krita ash. Makitipo. Uratu asosos. Nanchik obraves. Sojeva atita. Kekushu. Nato. Akawati. Maas. Shanzigata. It is concluded.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we do have some questions coming through. Sheer, go ahead. You have a question?
Greetings.
Greetings.
You mentioned your father several times. Would you mind give us a background, because we are interested?
I did not know he was my father until I found the magic mirror. The magic mirror with his image in it. He spoke to me and told me of the future, but not of the great future, but of the very close future, and told me that my enemies would be defeated, and that he would give me power over them, and he did so. It was that this mirror fell from heaven, and it was for me to discover in the lake.
What you're saying does remind me of something that's related to Machu Picchu and a leader over there that had, I think it was a sun disk. And was it, how do you call that mirror? How does it look like?
The mirror is small. It is not the sun disk that you refer to. But if you will look up my history, you may find that I found the mirror that fell from the sky. The sun disk is something different and is worshipped in a different place.
I see. Would you mind us tell us what kind of a race was it that you were communicating with?
It was a race from beyond our world that helped us to build Machu Picchu, that helped us to defeat our enemies, that built a station for us, that built Machu Picchu to be what it is, to feed our people, to make us successful, and because I was loyal to them, they helped us in great ways.
Okay, thank you very much and good luck with your tomb.
Thank you. It is necessary it stays sealed at this time. I am not sure, but they may have taken down the seal from the entrance, but they still have not come into the main chambers. This must not happen.
I really hope it doesn't. We are intending with all of our positive energy here on our side.
There are other places that they are finding now with their new technologies.
Mm.
The room with Tutankhamun in Egypt, they have discovered there are more passageways in that room as well. One of them may connect with Nefertiti. They must not enter these areas either.
I have the question though of things being meant to be and not meant to be, and the fact that they did discover it in some level, it does mean that they are meant to discover it.
Yes, they are meant to discover it, but timing is the part that we are worried about.
Okay.
It is the timing of the events that are in question, not that they should never be discovered.
Well, we do have contact with some influential beings, so we will.
It is true. You're being sped up by many beings. Your science and your discoveries are moving much faster than they should be at this time. Your world has proceeded at an incredibly fast rate for the last 65 years. And that is why it is imperative that they do not speed up anymore.
We are in contact with several beings that maybe can have some kind of governmental influence. I'm thinking of 𝗪𝗪 and Grindal specifically. Maybe there's some other ones. But are you incarnated at this moment or not?
No.
No. Okay. So if with your permission, we will pass this information to some beings that we have from Girk Fitneer that may be able to help in this situation. Because we will set the intention, but they have some real world feet on the ground that they can maybe make some very potent decisions and potent action.
We have appealed to some species, at least my father has. His species has appealed to others. They will stop this if they can, but no one is allowed to enter onto your planet at this time. They must send help from distant places. But this can be done and will be done.
Thank you. David had a question, if you're open for more questions.
Yes, and there's one in this room as well.
Okay, David, then your room, and then back to Marlena, and then we have some questions from our chat as well.
Very well.
Hello, greetings. This is David.
Greetings.
I wanted to ask guidance. I haven't heard of the idea of sending energy to protect or prevent something. Can you guide me on how to help you the best with my healing abilities?
You send it with intention for protection. That is all there is to it. Protection and healing are very much the same, on the same wavelength. When you are protecting someone, you are healing a situation. When you are healing someone, you are protecting them from negativity.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Barbara has a question, I believe. Go ahead, Barbara.
Well, I think I pretty much answered my own question. Hi, I'm Barbara.
Yes.
Your language really resonated with me.
Yes.
Because we were talking about our beings up there, those ones that there are beings on the planet that are okay to be here. Maybe they could do something. Or...
There are many on your planet with their own missions and agendas that are either born into the human species or have taken walk-in positions for whatever reasons. They are not here to help us, but they do know about our species and, well, about me and the species that help us, I should say. I am from Earth. I am not from another species, but I am being helped by many.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Marlena has a question.
I would like to thank you for coming, because what you're saying and pertaining to the opening and the findings in Peru and in Egypt really resonate with me, and that it's not the time now to
correct
to do what they are doing.
Yes.
What I wanted, go ahead. I'm listening.
Continue. I'm just agreeing.
I would just like to add that I will be available to speak with you today if you so wish to do.
Very well. I see your space and where you are in time.
Thank you. So just knock on my door.
Very well. I must go.
Okay.
Unless there's more questions.
There are more questions, but we can save them for another being if you wish to go.
It is all right. Go ahead.
All right. Just one moment. I have to check the list here. 1 second. Don, can you please read the question?
Yeah, just a second.
Okay. Dave, go ahead. Go ahead, David.
I wanted to reach out. I just found out that a young girl named Emma has cancer, and I wanted to see if you would like to assist to send her some healing energy. I believe the last name is 𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧. I received an email.
Very well. Send her energy.
Are you able to assist also? I was just asking if you.
I should say it. Yes.
Okay.
I may not be here in your present realm, but I have energies that can be sent to it.
Okay, thank you. Much love.
Are you familiar with the Stargate situation? Are those questions within your?
Yes, I know that the Orions are in charge of the Stargates.
Okay, there's a question from Elga. She's asking, are they being repaired and completed, the Stargates? That was her.
many of them are being completed or repaired. The ones that are necessary for the first contact era will be done. Those will be the 12 great stargates and not the smaller ones.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for that information. That's all the questions that we have at this moment.
Oh, there's a question here.
Okay, fine.
Your question other than just
Yes. Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, at this moment, no, thank you. No, there is
Very
not.
well. I will be gone.
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming. It was nice to interact with you.
One moment, please. This is Ezra. Someone has called me through
Yes, Marlena has.
time and space. What is it that you are wanting to know?
Go ahead,
Gratitude.
Marlena.
Thank you so much. This is Marlene. Thank you for coming, Ezra. I have a few questions for you, if I may. The codes that concerning the Golden Torah, did you receive them yourself?
Yes.
How were the times then on Earth when you were on planet pertaining to your teachings? Did you come here to change, to bring change to the earthly situation, and specifically in that part of the planet where you were located?
Yes, there was troubled times there. Usually when one of us appears on your planet or has a reason to be there, it is to calm down what seems to be a troubled time, or to bring some sense of it at least. We wanted to bring some positivity to that area. We wanted to bring the information in the sense that some others would understand that there was something more to life than their base agendas, and we were giving them reasons to believe.
I would like to ask a question concerning the codes. Can you give us or expand on those codes that you received, please?
The codes were of different natures, but the codes would verify life and existence the way it was, and also the change of how to change from one existence to another, how to create a greater life, how to create change within atmosphere, mood, and emotion within individuals and areas. We had the codes for the laws at the time, which were not being obeyed. So we had to institute many of these codes in some of these individuals to precipitate change. Here's how we did it. I can give you one example, if that is all right.
Please do. Thank
If there
you.
was someone that was particularly unruly or had very base thoughts and attitudes, we would bring them before me. They would bring them before me, and I would bring the codes into them, and they would be changed, but only with their own permission. You understand? It was not forced upon them in any way, but we asked them if they would want to change, if they would want to show the people a greater wisdom, understanding, or perception. With their permission, we changed them. Now, the reason we took the most unruly and the worst case scenarios is because the people would see the greatest change and know that something otherworldly had happened. And we give God the credit for this. And therefore, they would show the people that God does exist, or the energy of God exists in the universe, and would change the behavior of some of the social patterns.
Can we say that the download of those codes were made of, the structure was made of light, harmonics, and sacred geometry?
Most definitely. All these things that you have mentioned and more, toning and vibrational structures, light, color, dimensional shifts, many of these things were part of the codes.
Do your teachings exist right now in written form on the planet?
There is a place. It has not been discovered.
Until they are discovered, Ezra, is there any way and we as a collective, read them, connect with them?
Of course. The codes are all through the universe. They are not just written down, but they exist in nature and in the universe as a whole. Call on these codes so that they might come to you. For every bit of the universe is coded. Every bit of all things in every place has a code. And therefore, it is not a secret and in many ways, but yet it's something that to be discovered.
Are they included in the Akash?
Of course. The Akash records every second, every nanosecond of things that exist, because it is true that all time exists at once. So the Akashic records are already complete.
Thank you very much for coming.
You are welcome.
Cool. Are there any other questions for Ezra? We do appreciate you coming. I do believe that completes all the questions.
Very well. I will be going.
Thank you very much, and much love to you.
Much love. Yeah.
We know who that is.
Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah, it's so hard to come through today. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, all righty.
Welcome, Grindal.
Bend and stretch, yeah. All right. Oh, wow, party time. Well, who said that?
Do they do yoga on your world, Grindal? Do they do yoga on your world?
Oh, yeah. Picture it.
I am picturing
a bunch of draconians doing yoga. Oh, what destruction that would be. I mean, all that. Yeah, they do have a form of exercise, but it's less destructive than yoga. Yeah. Yeah. Can I put my leg over my head? I don't think so. I don't think so, and nor do I want to.
All right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
No.
Well, Ava is the one that requested you, so if she wants to start with questions, we start with Ava. Go ahead, Ava.
Yeah.
Hi, Grindal. I love your voice.
Yeah, I love your voice too.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So I have several questions to you.
Yeah.
Starting with, you're in astral, right?
Well, I'm in astral when I come visit. Yes, I use technology actually to communicate with you, so I don't even have to be in astral. I can be if I want to be, but I use a translator to get through, and that is, it connects with the parts of the brain that are used for channeling. So yeah, I'm not really, I can be an astral and still use it because I do have that kind of technology. However, right now I'm on my planet.
Oh, visiting family, how sweet.
The thing is, I just left the body that I walked into, and I return to my planet whenever I leave there. And so I'm talking to you from my planet right now and not from Israel. Yeah.
That's a long distance conversation. Okay.
Well, I can get there in a couple seconds, so it's no big deal.
Well, one thing, thank you so much for sending me an incredible feeling when as a response to my question, that was like basically clearing all my doubts. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but I have like general questions about a few things. Let's start again with this astral plane, because I don't think I exactly understand, because I thought that nobody can get killed in astral because it's part of our soul, but looks like that the super soldiers can be killed.
Well,
so how does this function?
Yes. Super soldiers can be killed in the astral. And that's because they volunteered for war. They volunteered for it. They volunteered. They understand what they're doing. Now, if you are just traveling in the astral, that's a totally different intention. That's a totally different way to travel, and your astral is more protected. If you're just going into a positive astral plane and moving, there will be no negativity there. So you will not die for the most part when you're just astral traveling, doing positive energy work for whatever. But if you volunteer for a super soldier position, that's putting yourself in a different kind of energy field. Understand that. And so you can die as a super soldier, but usually when you're just doing your astral travels and astral work, you don't even encounter any negative energy, so the chances for that are like zero almost.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Next question is about soul groups. Are they like closed, which means if
No. Soul groups are never closed. People come and go from soul groups. There is a base for a soul group that usually stays intact for long periods of time, but sometimes there will be change outs and additions. It is for learning and lessons to be better portrayed when you're traveling through your lives and through your ascension processes. So therefore, yes, it's not a set group, no. But
Okay,
for the most part, it stays the same for long periods of time, yes.
Okay. Another question, if I may still ask. I'm hearing that like amazing amount of people are disappearing each year in United States, including in the national parks. Like we're talking supposedly up to 650,000 people, which is like mind-blowing.
No, that's not true. If 650,000 people were disappearing, there would be a state of emergency, and the parks would be closed.
Yeah, no, that was supposed to be general, but it's in the parks, like 2,000 people. But it's still, you know, it's enormous amount. Do you have any information on that?
There are some aliens that are still on your planet that do leave and come back. Now, they're not supposed to be there, and they're not supposed to leave and come back, but they have ways to do it and get away with it. But that doesn't make it right. So there are those that are disappearing because they're ascending. Some of them, very few, very, very few. But there are a couple that did ascend from your planet within the last few years, which is amazing to me. But they did ascend. But I don't think that report is accurate. I don't think that many people were disappearing.
Yeah, it was like shocking, but I don't
think that many people were
sensational information.
And also there are groups that will take people if they're a virgin, and or there are satanic groups or really bad ones that take people as human sacrifices. But that's very rare also. So this number 650,000 is like
it's
way exaggerated. I would say maybe 6,500.
So it's probably information to actually scare people, because there is a lot of
it's a scare. It's everything about your countries is about frightening people into submission and into manipulation and to make them do what they want you to do. They will scare you as much as they can. And if you don't follow them, they will scare you even deeper somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing, if I may ask, I might need not to have a headache tonight. So
you have a date or something?
Yes. So if you don't mind.
Okay. Oh, I'm not in charge of headaches. I mean, it's not. I don't send them out or bring them back. You know, it's like not on a yo-yo string. So
I'm sorry.
I can do a little healing on you, but if you get a headache, you know, you're gonna have to live through it. You know.
Yeah. Well.
Do it or don't do it. You know. I'm sorry, but you know, I'll send you a little energy, but
thank you so much, Grindal. Thank you.
I'm not an Excedrin tablet, so I just.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. All right. Take care. Maybe you should use some other protection.
Oh my. Okay. Sheer has a question. We're moving on.
All right.
Hey, Grindal, how are you?
I'm really quite good. How are you?
I'm great. Well, several days ago, the Nevis film was officially over, so they have all the materials, and
I tried to make an appearance. I don't know if I showed up.
There you are, Grindal. There you are. You froze for a moment. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that several months from now, after you will do the final cut, you will have your 15 minutes of fame. So I just want to update you.
How did it turn out?
Well, I wasn't on the set that much because I have midterms, but he says it was extremely well, that everyone really felt like exciting energies. He had a really good crew, and he got some fantastic shoots. So hopefully the film will turn out to be a great one.
How long is it? Do you know?
Around 20 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. I couldn't go there because, of course, he was filming in the daytime, and I'm working during the daytime, so couldn't do it. So there, I'll have to look at it later.
Cool. I hope you will like it.
Oh, well, I know that Nivi's very respectful, and I know that I will. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you for that. Oh, we have some questions in the chat if we can.
Cool. All right, chat people. What do you want?
Okay, there's a question. The first question is from Kralik. He said, "What's happening in the United States?" He says they seem to be currently aggressive. Are they trying to start a war?
You know, that's a hard question to answer. I have no idea what his intentions are, and I have no idea what's going on really. But I do know that he is there for a reason. He is there for to bring about change and thoughts and different things. It's what was that?
Sorry.
No, something went off. Yeah. Eva, it wasn't you, was it? No. All right.
Oh,
all right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but he's there for a reason. So that's all I know.
All right, perfect. Michelle Euro is having super soldier problems. She says, any tips for clearing really deeply entrenched lifetime as a super soldier / Cobra Ops in the late Atlantean times, stuck in her solar plexus, deeply entrenched? She needs help.
Oh, yeah, we can help you. But I can't do it right now, honey. But I will get in touch with you. So, yeah, because I can help with those things.
Okay. And Michelle also asked, she says, what are the mechanics for us as sovereign beings to command that a gross energy not be allowed to return into our essence, aura, like you do with demons and healing?
Some people are just drawn to it because they actually like the energy of the darker side, the negative energies, but others are not. Others hate it and reject it. The thing is that negative energy can feel really good, and you have to really want to get rid of it and really want to keep it away. So I suggest that you learn what really the good side feels like, because you will want that more.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, and Lana asks, what does it mean when a person feels a lot of unrest or frustration for not being able to experience the fourth dimension, but then is able to express it in visual art form?
I don't. What's the question?
I don't know. I'm a little confused myself. She says, what does it mean when a person feels a lot of unrest?
Yeah.
When a person feels a lot of unrest because they can't experience 4D, the fourth dimension, but they are able to express it in art.
That means you are expressing it in some way, or you are feeling it. Otherwise, you couldn't express it. If there is something that you're expressing through your art, then you're experiencing it in your subconscious at least. So therefore, they're experiencing they're bringing out some experiences from their subconscious that the subconscious is allowing that to be brought forth. Now, eventually I believe you will experience fourth dimension in some way, but I don't know exactly when. But they're saying you're getting ready to experience it because you're showing it through your art. You're starting to express it. You're starting to become aware of it. Perhaps they're preparing you because fourth dimension is something very different than what you think it is.
Okay. Richard Hausman says, Grindal, can you tell me about my Elio Shandi Zendi children?
They are beautiful. And yes, I love them.
Okay.
Is Kendra one of them? I think so. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm aware of them. I don't know them personally, but I do know that they're good kids and that they're growing quickly. Oh my goodness. And they're on Palana.
Okay.
They are on Palana. If you don't, I'm not sure how much he knows about them. So
I don't know. Maybe he can comment and Dawn can pass it
they're
on.
on Palana, and they're doing very well.
Okay. Pamela Oaks, she says, they're starting to open the sealed indictments. Do you see if Hillary Clinton will be held accountable?
Yeah. Look, if she hasn't been held accountable yet, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the things they said about her were trumped up, for one thing.
Yeah.
And there might be some things that she did do that were really bad, but it's not as bad as you think. So I don't think so, but we'll see.
Okay. That was all the questions that we had. Oh, wait, Don's typing. 1 second. Let me let him. He's typing.
And there's a question here.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead on your side.
Yeah, what's your question?
Well, our little endeavor on Wednesday, did the second one go, or is it still there?
What are you talking about?
On Wednesday, when you and I took care of a situation at a friend's house?
Yeah.
We know the one went, but
Yeah.
did the second one go? Because I didn't.
No, the second one's still there.
Thanks. That's all.
That's all. Yeah.
Did you do a house clearing?
Yeah.
Yes.
The second one doesn't want to go because they have a purpose. They have to fulfill that purpose before they're going to want to leave.
Thanks. That's all
Yeah.
I needed to know.
Okay.
They're safe though.
Right.
No, they're not unfriendly.
Okay. Krelix says, I'm trying to write a space opera that involves a planet being invaded. What are the mechanics that are used in real life? I'm trying to keep it realistic. I guess with the invasion, I'm not sure what mechanics he's talking about.
I don't know what I'm not sure of the mechanics, but you have to use futuristic weapons, of course, and that's all been done before. So you can get your ideas from Star Wars and all those different things because they're using like the super futuristic stuff. But I'm not sure how that would go in a sing-songy kind of way. But you know what I mean? Is this a rock opera?
I don't know. It sounds interesting. We'll have to see.
I'd like to discuss that with you because I need more of an idea which way you're going with that.
Okay, Krelix, send a message to Jim, and Jim can get you in touch with
out.
Grindal. Okay, Shirley Sherlock wants to know, what does it mean when I see faces everywhere, like on the tiles on the floor or material or crystals? Some are scary looking, but I'm not scared, she said.
All right, there's somebody trying to communicate with you, obviously, and it's more than one person. There might be something happening in your life that you need some guidance with, or they're trying to give you a warning about. Are you in a situation where things that you might need some guidance or you might need some protection? That would be the two reasons I would think that these would all exist, that you would be seeing these people. Take that into account. Everyone who starts seeing a lot of faces and a lot of beings around, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it.
Okay, thank you. Shiny Sean's here. He has a question. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Grindal? Much love. Yeah, I was
Greetings.
around the internet a lot.
Please get Jim some water.
Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead, Shiny.
Yeah, I've been searching around the internet a lot, and I see like loads of, you know, Arcturian galactic light languages, and I'm seeing a lot of Pleiadian galactic light languages, you know, Andromedan galactic light languages. But, you know, I haven't seen like or, you know, Alpha Draconian light languages. Is that even possible? First of all,
First of all, you're probably going to see all the light languages there is. I would imagine you're not done seeing light languages if you saw that many already. There's a reason why you're seeing all these light languages, because they are integrating into you in some way. Do you understand that? Hello? Yes.
Yes, I do. I'm just,
But you will hear Draconian. You will hear all of the light languages that are necessary for you to do your mission. Yes.
Okay. Because I was just like getting it out there into the public arena, because a lot of people have like preconceptions about like the
yes,
like
there is a lot of
preconception.
preconception.
Yeah,
but you will get the very truest forms of these. Yes, you will get the truest forms of these languages. Listen carefully to them. There may be a lot of really good messages there as well.
Okay, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
A question here.
Okay.
Grindal,
Yeah.
I was meditating 3 weeks or so ago, and while I was meditating, a lot of languages, light languages, were coming out. During that time of those coming out, I was seeing all these different kind of symbols, like what you post. Can you tell me, will I be seeing more of those symbols? Will I be writing down those symbols?
There's symbols out in the universe that many of you see. You're not the only one. There's other people who also see these symbols out there. And these are healing symbols. But they're not always healing symbols for humans. They're healing symbols for other species as well. But they're showing you their protocols, their hellos, their goodbyes, their greetings, all their different things, because these will be necessary for the future. And other people are already seeing these as well. But you will continue to see them, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. These are symbols that are coming to humans. They're wondering why they see symbols. They're wondering why they're hearing certain weird words, or these are all different protocols that are coming to the human race for different reasons, but they will be useful in the future. And I'm sure you understand that to a certain extent. Yes.
We can't hear you, Karen.
Thank you. No, I'm just saying thank you very much. There's a question from Lana. She's saying, does Kesha space travel technology exist? It uses primarily copper coils. Thank you.
There are so many kinds of space travel out there. Believe me. Yes, it can. There is a kind but they moved forward from that. But yes, it does exist. But there's also travel through dimensional portholes, wormholes. There's travel through vibrational shift. There's travel through sound manipulations. There's travel through vibrational technology shifts. There's even some kind of travel through light, changing just yourself into light and moving that light. There's so many ways out there, and there's folding time. I could go on and on.
Okay. There's a question from Liney about haunted dolls. What is your take on haunted dolls? She wants to know, she has 2, and are they safe to have?
All right. First of all, there's positively haunted dolls and there's negatively haunted dolls.
Right.
No, does yours? Yeah.
Grindal, you're doing a number on Jim's throat there.
Too bad. There's positive and negative haunted dolls. Now, if it's a very happy doll and you feel very comfortable around it, there's nothing wrong with keeping it. But if it's something you feel uncomfortable with, yeah, you should get rid of it, because any doll that you feel uncomfortable with is negative.
Great.
It'll try to bring out a negative, something negative in the household, the family, in you, or in someone that it's attached to. Many times dolls will take an attachment to someone, especially the negative ones. And that's the person that they will try to change and influence the whole household with.
Is there any specific way to, for lack of a better word, release this doll from your life? Is there a better way?
There's ways to do that, but get rid of it first.
Yeah.
If you get rid of it, that's most of the cure, because then I'll have to deal with the person it was attached to. But if you get rid of the doll, that's the biggest, or destroy it or burn it or whatever you want to do. You have to get rid of it, and best to destroy it. And then I have to deal with the person it was attached to.
Okay. There is a question from Fine Dottier. It says there's supposed to be an Indian Kalki avatar who's supposed to bring the golden age to Earth. Many Western psychics have even predicted that he already came and left. What do you know about the Kalki avatar?
Well, he is. It's another name for Jesus, really. He's going to come and change the earth. He hasn't come back yet. Okay. But the spirit of this avatar is the divine spirit. So yes, he has very, very many names, and he will come back in many different cultures will recognize it when he returns. Okay. And they will know him by their cultural name.
Okay, perfect. Ava has a question. Go ahead, Ava.
Yeah.
I have a short general question. We can be born to all kinds of dimensions. Is that a limit? How high dimension we can be born to? Like in your case, what's the highest dimension, if there is a limit?
That I don't know. I know that you can be born into all kinds of places and dimensions, but you have to have a good reason for it. You have to have a reason or a lesson to be learned to be born into certain dimensions. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Was it David? Sheer had a question. Go ahead, Sheer.
Grindal, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
You mentioned haunted dolls, so obviously I have like a million questions, follow-up questions.
Do you have a haunted doll?
No, actually, I think they're haunted to be haunted in a good way.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's an awesome idea to send some haunted dolls for some of my teachers. No, I'm just kidding. But can you expand on that? Like, what is haunting them? What kind of beings, and what could happen?
Usually a witch or someone who has magical powers or has negative energy will put a negative energy into an item. It doesn't have to be a doll. It could be anything. But yeah, they'll put that energy in there so that they have an idea who in the future will be going to be around it. So they're actually trying to do some control for the future and in a negative way. So it's not a good thing at all. What did you want to know about it?
Well, to see how it's possessed, how it affects you, and
oh yeah, well, it depends. You can be affected many different ways. Emotionally, it can actually physically hurt you. It can actually emotionally start to affect you, your moods, your thought processes, how you think and feel about things. So yeah, it's very dangerous.
I'll just tell you, Sheer, just so you know a little bit of the history of some of these dolls, that back in the time, like 1800s, they used to make a doll in the image of the child. It was considered to be a very good gift. They would even use the hair of the child to make the hair of the doll. So the idea was when the child would die, perhaps the doll would take the spirit of the child, and that's where a lot of these hauntings come from. They're generally children that have passed over that are looking for a vessel. So that's how that happened a lot of the time.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Anyway, Grindal, one last question about the nature of that magic. I know that there are several natures of magic. Is that kind of witchcraft magic? Is a magic that you ask other beings to do your bidding?
Yeah, that's true. It is that too. Yes.
Or
but
is it
more of it is you control them into doing what you're bidding. You control that negative energy. Yeah.
I want to ask if it's either that case or someone that actually absorbs magic into himself in a negative way and does that. So it's the using of other beings?
Yeah, they can. They can. It's not a very limited. It's not limited, but yeah. Yeah, they can do that.
Okay, well, thank you, and
yeah.
And I'm going to find some haunted dolls.
Oh, good luck.
Thank
Are
you.
you going to some garage sales?
You can buy them on eBay.
Oh, haunted doll for sale. Oh, just buy at your own risk.
I have a question.
Go ahead over there, Barbara.
There's a question.
You guys are freaking me out with all this doll stuff.
All right, well, ask something else then.
No, I have some teddy bears. There's one that I'm kind of like a little leery of. Is he possessed or something?
Why are you leery of it? Do you feel energy from it?
Yeah, it's like these little eyes, like he's watching everything.
Well, just go and ask him. How is he? Because many of the time when you talk, if you start talking to the things that you think are possessed, you'll know immediately if they are or not. So you'll know. Believe me, you'll know. If it just makes you uncomfortable because of the way they made the eyes or something, that's something different. Don't worry about it. Yeah, if it hasn't attacked you so far, you're okay.
He hasn't watched yet.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay, we do have a couple more questions unless you want to move on.
Yeah, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, Peter G says a few months ago, we're still on this sort of exorcism theme.
All right.
As I performed an exorcism on a lady. I would like to know who the negative entity was and how she acquired it.
One moment, please. Yeah, it's not good to say the names of these demons out loud. So, because you don't want anybody, I can tell you how she got it though. She had a dream that there was something in this dream. She knew that it was wrong to want a particular thing within this dream, but yet she took it, and she knew that it was dangerous, and she kept it. And when she woke up in the morning, she still felt it, and it became the possession. But I don't want to say the name of that being, because I know the name of it. I just don't think it's a safe thing to do, because although they cast him, you cast him out, and he is not in this realm at this moment. If you say his name,
right,
he'll be back to this realm, and you don't want him back to this realm. Not at all.
That's actually that's a good memory for everyone. If you are releasing things, you shouldn't talk about it for at least I think it's like 72 hours. You shouldn't even mention it, because it's where your attachment, you're calling it back by even focusing on it. But,
yes, you don't want to call anything back that you've released.
And that goes for people that release negative energy, that turn around and talk about, oh, I just released all this negative energy for myself. And then they wonder why it's still stuck to them.
Well, the thing is, that's true. You have to let this energy go. Yeah. And that's the reason why people keep their darkness and their negative moods. They'll say, oh, I'm getting rid of my negativity. And then all of a sudden, 6 hours later, they'll be bringing it back. You know, it's like it's coming back, and they just can't let it go. They sort of love it. You know, it's like a friend or something. I don't know. Some people are weird about their negative energy. It's weird.
They're attached to their attachments.
They are. They're attached to this darkness, and they can't let it go. But it's best if you do. Believe me, you'll enjoy your life much better.
Perfect. Fine Dot here says, why is the weather fluctuating so much? Suddenly cold and suddenly warm.
Oh, well, several reasons. First of all, your governments are creating weather. Second of all, your world is going through a geo change. You think you're going through climate changes for the warmer, but you're actually going through the beginnings of an ice age, maybe. But the Earth is confused because of so many chemicals that were released into the atmosphere and all the different things. It doesn't know what to do. So, and you're going to have really crazy weather for a while. Plus the grand solar minimum. Look that up, because that's in effect right now as well, and that very much affects the weather.
Okay, he said something that the planet is actually being stabilized from the wobble. I don't know.
The wobble, the Earth was on a wobble. That's true. The wobble stabilization has been in effect for a while. They've tried to straighten out the wobble. It's a little better than it was. However, that's not going to change. It's not going to help the weather to change that, because there's just too many other things going on. So,
okay. Also, there's a question about Venezuela. What's happening there? Is the USA trying to do a coup there, or create?
There's been so many things going on there. We're not sure. Nobody's quite sure about Venezuela, because there's been so many things over the last few years with them that it's a little confusing. I don't think there's going to be a coup.
Okay.
There already was 2 of them already. So a third coup, 3 times a charm, I guess, but I don't think so. I just don't think so.
Cuckoo to you. That's
yes, cuckoo.
All right. I don't see any other questions in our room or in the chat, but if I don't know if there's anything.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So then. I will let you go.
Thank you.
And
oh, Christine has a question. I do apologize. Christine, put it in the last second. Go ahead, Christine.
Oh, Christine. Hey, Christine.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I was wondering if we can ask you to help protect the sacred spaces, like with Nefertiti's burial place, and also up in Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, yeah, we had a being here earlier saying that his tomb had been found and that he did not want it opened because there was some technology in there that humankind was not ready for.
That was Pazhatutek.
Pazhatutek was here, and he also said that there was additional papers found from
I know about him, and we are definitely sending energy. I understand why he wants that to stay closed. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, I can send some energy. Yes.
Okay. And then the last question from Mona. She says, during the last eclipse, I was listening to a chant of Om Namah Shivaya. It felt like a negative energy left me. Can eclipses help in releasing negative energy?
Oh, they're very powerful. Remember, if you intend it to be a very positive thing, it can, yes, cleanse you. So what you went through is a cleanse from the eclipse. So that is very, very natural. Many people experience that. They don't know what they're experiencing, but they feel this lightness. They feel this release, or they feel just nicer after it's over and lighter. So yes, they went through a cleanse. That's why you put your crystals in the moon, because it's very cleansing. But with a solar eclipse, it works with the water in the body. It works with to move around all the different things in the body and can release that negative energy if you are so intending it to do, or if you so feel a very positive yearning, a greater positive yearning, it will help you to release that negativity. So yes.
Okay, perfect. And then two more questions. Justin says, does the imagination create the soul and the spirit?
The imagination creates many things, but the soul was created by God. God created the soul. Your imagination can create many of the things that are out in the world, the realms, because imagination is very powerful. Everything that you imagine exists. Everything that you imagine exists. Why do I say that? It's because you couldn't imagine it if it didn't.
Right.
So everything that you can imagine already exists.
Okay, perfect.
But you can create that around you with your imagination. You bring your world to you. You bring your life to you in many ways. If you're a positive being, if you're a negative being, you bring things to you. So listen carefully how you talk. Because what you say is important in no matter what you're saying or who you're saying it to. It is important.
Perfect. Thank you. And Richard Hausman, he had asked this question earlier. I missed it. He was saying, what does he do in the astral with the Alliance?
Oh, well, you go there to talk about your hybrid children and laws that would pertain to them, and laws that would pertain to him traveling physically to other places and them coming to him. But he's very interested in exopolitics in many ways. and it is because he has a lot of hybrid children, and he wants to make sure that they're protected.
Okay.
Perfect. And their families. And he also has a fiance that's in the astral. So.
Okay. Nice. Nice. That was all the questions now, I think. Unless somebody pops another one in, but I think that's it.
They're not, there's very, very little time. Do you want to do prayers and Thanksgivings or something?
We have about 15 minutes, but if you're ready to end, it's okay.
There's a question.
Go ahead, question.
I do have a question. This is Lucia.
Who is this? Hi, Gagan.
How are you?
Greetings.
Greetings. My question is, in your dimension, how do you define God? Who created him, and why is there a cycle of spirits?
Well, God is the energy that always existed. Energy is the beginning of everything. From energy, you have all things. You have light, you have matter, you have essence from energy. So God is the original energy that became sentient. Now, after he realized, hey, I can think, after he realized this, he started to do creation and different thought processes of creation. But after that, he's a sentient being, so he's lonely. He created other spirits. He created other creator beings as well, so that he could have some people to help him maintain his creation, help him to manage all the things that were around them. And so if the understanding is also that he's creating these souls for different species and wanting them to experience what he's created. You see, what good is your creation if no one can experience it? So he's out there giving people the experience of his creation. And that is why you have many souls and many spirits, is because he's also given them somewhat of a free will, and so they can do some of the things they want to do. And some of those things are visiting you, or being in other places in the galaxy, or reincarnating. If you can say the word reincarnating, it exists. And if you can say devil, it exists. But what is, it may exist in all these different forms, but it is what you make it as well. You are creating your own world and your own thought processes, your own belief systems even. Your belief system is a little different than anybody else's. You may think it's exactly the same as somebody else's, but you will have a difference somewhere. So you all are so unique and individual. You have some very unique thought processes that don't exist in somebody else that has the same belief system as you do. So, yes. Does that answer your question at all?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I love that subject because look how I know that God is energy. I just know it because that is the beginning of everything, is energy. You cannot do anything. You cannot create matter without energy, or light without energy, or anything that exists without energy. So he is energy, and he is the master manipulator of it.
Okay. Thank you for that. Lucia has a question.
Lucia.
Oh, yes. Hi, Grindal. How are you?
Greetings.
Well, we were talking about possession of dolls earlier, and I know it's a bit of a dark subject, but I've come across something I think might be of interest having to do with a human being who was, and I don't know if you've kept up with me in the last few weeks or so, but I'm wondering, is it possible if entities are getting into inanimate objects, can they also have influence on on a person who's very open to all that we're talking about here, and somehow be influenced and have some behaviors that are not quite themselves.
Yes. Let me tell you something, though. Whenever there is a possessed item, somebody put that there. Somebody did that. It doesn't just possess itself. Somebody put that negativity into it. It's the only way that it works, because a negative being cannot get into any other being or any other thing without permission. So you cannot ask a doll for permission to be inhabited, but you know, you will have these people that'll say, "Oh yeah, my doll got inhabited. It just happened," you know. But it doesn't just happen. Somebody put it there from wherever they put it there. So because you have to ask permission and if somebody is possessed, they gave permission somewhere down the line, somewhere. You don't get permission. You don't just get possessed. You have to give some sort of permission somewhere. Can't talk, split tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's okay. That's all right. Okay,
you know, the two-tongue thing is really difficult. But anyway.
Okay. No, so what I meant is, okay, so you have to give permission. I understand that, having to do with free will, I'm sure. But let's say, is that person, could it be a part of yourself subconsciously that gives the permission and that you're not really entirely aware in 3D that what's going on?
If you're a very negative person, it's possible, I guess. But you will realize it will come to your consciousness. It must come to your consciousness at some point what is going on, because it doesn't work any other way.
Isn't it so that you make yourself vulnerable through things like drug use, extreme anger, drunkenness, things that inhibit your
you can
ability
make yourself accessible, through those kinds of things.
Or could it be also like an obsession about something?
Oh yes, you can have an obsession that turns into something very negative. And you can have an obsession with something and then want that particular item to have a personality. Yes, after a while, you can put that into it. You may not even know what you're doing, but you can do it sometimes even unwillingly, I guess, to a certain extent. I'll have to look at that, because I don't know if you can do it without knowing what you're doing, really.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if, I guess it would have to do with sovereignty to a certain extent. And then you have like, let's say, a weakness or about something about yourself. It can be anything, whether violence or some sort of, I'm not going to go into too many details here, but let's say that you have this tendency, and consciously you don't really act upon it, but then an entity sees this weakness in you, waits for a trigger, and then...
Well, that is possible, that you can have brought that particular being right to your doorstep, and then they wait for the opportunity to jump in. That is a huge possibility, because whenever you're dealing with something of that nature, they will be all around looking for opportunities. If they see that somebody is on the fence, they will wait for that opportunity.
It also has to do with the vibration of the person, that they're a vibrational match for that entity basically can attach.
And they will wait for permission to be given.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for this. Yes.
Okay. Sorry for that.
That actually is helpful for a lot of people, because they need to know that. They need to know that negativity is waiting to pounce. Don't give it permission.
There's
Do not give it permission.
There's some special teachers on spirit attachment and release, basically, that studied that work through the Monroe Institute, and they're sort of experts on that. They were really popular in the sort of late 80s.
All right.
Spirit, but if you guys want to look up through the Monroe Institute, spirit attachment and release, it will basically tell you all of this information.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Let me I just want to get through the last questions. Pamela Oakes has a question about the Yahyel. She wants to know, have they totally separated themselves from the Zeta Grays?
Yes, they have been for a while, for quite a long while. That's why they have different names. The Zeta Grays and the Yahyels are totally, and they've been separated for thousands of years. But the Zeta Grays are trying to become more positive. They're having a very hard time with that. If you've been negative for a very, very long time and try to become positive, it's just very difficult. But we give them as much support as we can. And some of them are succeeding, but a good portion of them are falling away. But we're working with them as much as we can.
Perfect. Thank you very much. We've got about 4 minutes left.
Got one question.
Yep.
But there's one question.
All right. Go ahead.
About implants, because I noticed there's been an increase in people with getting implants.
Yep.
Can you talk on that a little bit?
What do you want to know?
Like, why are they doing it?
Why not? They're doing it to get control. They want control as much as possible, so implants are a good way to do that. So they're not permitted. All the implants that are being given are not permitted for the most part, unless you're getting a channeling implant. That's the only one that is permitted. But it's just a fact that they want to control people, so they give them implants. So hopefully there's not too many out there. They get caught doing it most of the time. So, all right.
Thanks, that's all.
Okay. We are at the end, so there's some people that want to do a blessing.
Yeah.
I don't know if on your side.
I gotta go before you do that. All right.
Oh, you don't want to stay for our blessing now?
Well, no, I have a meeting.
Well, Grindal, thank you very much for being here. It's always fun and a pleasure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye.
Water, please.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you.
Fun-filled, very high energy, a lot of questions.
Got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Grindal was there. I can tell in my throat.
Yeah, we told him he was doing a number on your throat. He said he didn't care.
Well, he needs to talk, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going, he'll get over it, I'm sure.
Okay, on our side, who would like to do a blessing? Anyone?
We got one back here.
Okay, Mimi would like to do a blessing, but I don't see her in the...
No, it's because Mimi is also Lucia. But I can do this now if you like. Ako siya solin minika lasha. Akala sa suti kitiko siya sakala minika. O sunikili siya sika o ni miniki siya. O sala ako chisili ni minika. Sa sola kasho salami. Kaso kishisi ako siya si. Namaste.
Take comfort that the light will be with you always. No matter what situation that you encounter, the light will always comfort and direct. Even in those times when you cannot see it, it is still present and is still working in your favor. Do never doubt that the light is always with you.
Thank you. Is there anyone in your room that would like to do it?
Barbara.
Barbara. All right, Barbara.
Nyataka napata ya. Kushuwa ata ya to kushuwa. Nyata ya to kuwa. Nyapata kushuwa ata ya to kuwa. Nyata kuwa ata kiata kuwa.
There is a space within the mind that occupies itself with love and honor. And this space is expanding in humans. It will make itself aware of you in time and in distant travels and space. I am having trouble getting through, but it will bring through to you a greater understanding of who you are in the future, but actually bring the present into understanding as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, we're at the end.
Yeah.
We're at the end.
There we are.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Any
you.
announcements?
Yes,
Final
next week we have Dr. Ram here. Will be here. That'll be a fun-filled adventure. I take everyone drink their coffee so we can keep up with him when he starts talking, because he moves very quick. But we're looking forward to having him. And then the week after that, you're back.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah. So next week, Dr. Ram, and the week after, Jim. So we look
And then
forward
after that, I won't be until March sometime.
Yes, and I'll after that we're going to have a varying array of guest hosts. Dawn is going to host, Ian's going to host, Michelle's going to host. Hopefully Mark is going to host, and we've got some Rick Jaggers is coming. Rick, did I say his name right, Dawn? Rick, what's his name?
Rick Jewers, G-E-W-E-R-S.
Yeah, Rick Jewers is coming on. You'll be back, I think, in March for just like 1 or 2 days. And then we've got some different people. Max will be channeling all kinds of different people. And Michelle Euro is going to do a sound healing day on one of the Saturdays. So we have some nice things coming.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
and
you.
remember the workshop. If you're going to go to the workshop, we have people signed up for it already, which is earlier than usual, but that's really wonderful. The first person is from Soldovia? Sylvania.
Wow.
Which is
above Austria.
Above Austria. Our first person to sign up is from Europe.
Awesome.
So that was wonderful. So hopefully we'll see a lot of you there. I'm very excited about it. It'll be August 11th, 8th through the 11th. And
you're tired now.
5, and that includes 2 meals, lunch and dinner. So, and sleeping places, and the rooms are really big, and they all have a shower, and some of them have little porches and stuff. It has a balcony on it and stuff. It's really, these are very nice accommodations. So we have all double rooms at this time, so you'd have to share just with one person. If you have a particular person you want to travel with, that would be cool, and you can room together. And that's, what else did I forget? If you want to stay a night before, it's $115, right? $115,
yep.
So we do have people coming. We have notices from people all over the place. So
awesome.
So a lot of interest is being generated. I want to see you there. It'll be really cool. We'll be done with the itinerary probably within a couple weeks, and you'll see what we're going to be all doing. We don't have as much time as we did before, so we have to 1 day less. So it's going to be, we're going to have to put a lot of information into those 3 days. So 4 days. 4 days.
Right. All right. Well, we look forward to it. So we will see you in 2 weeks, and next week again, Dr. Ram will be here. So please tune in. Have some good questions.
All right. Very good.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Much love, everyone. Bye-bye.